Hello, everyone, and welcome to Goodwill Columbus Workforce Development's live interactive workshop. Today, a new topic on stress management. My name is Carly. I'm a career facilitator with Goodwill Columbus Workforce Development. Very happy that you have joined us today. Again, we're with Goodwill Columbus, and we're here to support you with anything and everything job related to help you further your career. Again, my name is Carly, and I will be your facilitator this afternoon on a topic, stress management. So we're very excited that you're here. Please like our video. Please share our pages wherever you're watching, like this, and share it with anyone you think would find this helpful. Today, we're going to be talking about stress management, very important topic. We're going to be talking about what is stress and what can we do about it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I will let you know that we have a moderator on the chat. So if you have any questions whatsoever, we've got the lovely Stacy who is on the line and can answer any of your questions. So let's go ahead and get started. Thanks for your patience while I find it. Here we go. All right, very good. Well, that's not right. That's not right. Wrong presentation. I apologize, you guys. Give me just one moment. Thanks for your patience. Again, we're going to be talking about stress management here in just a moment. How do we handle stressful situations? You just keep moving. You just keep moving. There we go. Very good. Very good. And awesome. Awesome. So we're going to be talking about stress management. What is stress? Let's see, can you see the screen? I hope so. Very good. Okay. Sometimes stressful situations just happen, right? Your technology doesn't work the way you think it's supposed to, or you think it's going to, and how do we respond to it? This is a perfect example of having a stressful situation and how we respond to it. We just keep moving, do our best to just keep moving. Give me just one moment. Okay, here. Okay. All right, so we're just going to be traveling through this presentation. It's adapted from the Alabama Mental Health Counselors Association. Some really great information in this presentation. So thank you for tuning in this afternoon. Thank you for watching. We're going to talk about what is stress and what can we do about it. So what is stress? It's a basic human survival mechanism left over from our premortal roots when we could best respond to perceived dangers by either fighting or fleeing. It's a basic human condition, is to perceive stress in our environment and have a physiological and biochemical reaction in our body. Stress is the body's nonspecific physical and biochemical response to stressors. So it's how our body reacts to stressors, and I would say that it's unavoidable and necessary. Unavoidable for sure. Stressful things are going to happen. Things don't go as planned. Change happens. And, we have deadlines. We have things that we're creating. There's things that make us nervous, that we might be stressed about. And also as a reminder that stress can be positive. It's a source of high energy and increased awareness. So some stress can actually improve performance, but too much stress impedes performance. Too much stress can do a lot of things to our body. We're not going to talk too much about that today, but there's a lot of negative impacts that can happen to our bodies under prolonged stress. So what can we do about it? Let's talk about how to manage it. So here's a couple practices to keep in mind, and we're going to get more into actual tips to manage your stress here in a moment. But what can you do about stress? One, you can separate yourself from the stress if possible, but that's not always possible. So acknowledge the difference between what you think and how you feel and who you are, right? I'm not my feelings. I feel stressed. I'm not stuck that way. That doesn't define me. That's kind of self-aware, mindfulness practice where we can observe the stress. We can observe that we're stressed and how we feel, but we don't have to get sucked into it. So that's something that with mindfulness and meditation can support that, to be able to look at the feelings and not be pulled into them. Get clear what you can control and what is beyond your control. This is a practical thing. Get clear on what you can do something about. Do something about that thing. And if you can't do something about it, then do your best to let it go, right? That's help me respond to the things that I can and let go of the things that I can't, and the wisdom to know the difference, I think, right? So keep that in mind, that, try to distinguish between what you can manage and then what you can't manage. And adopt healthy coping strategies for in the moment, healthy lifestyle choices to minimize effects of stress. So adopt some healthy coping strategies. And we're going to talk more about some healthy coping strategies next. So here are some tips, some coping strategies, some techniques to help you reduce stress and manage the stress that is inevitable in our lives. One is to breathe. Deep breathing, counting to 10. There's another breathing method, a breathing practice where you can inhale for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 6 seconds, and then release your breath for 8 seconds. And by slowing down the exhale, it's there's some sort of physiological reaction in the brain where it's actually giving your brain time to change directions, I guess, to go from that, that instinctual brain up into the prefrontal cortex where, our human instincts can kick in, out of instincts and into intention, if you will. So, you can breathe deeply and do some sort of techniques like that, where you inhale for 4, hold your breath for 6 seconds, and exhale for 8, and try that and see if that helps. Do that a few times, and it might support you in calming down. Treat yourself right. So eat well, exercise. I mean, we know these things, right? But they're common ways to reduce stress is to make sure you're eating healthy foods, that you're exercising, that you're moving your body, and that you take time to be alone with your thoughts each day, and that you get to sleep, and that you have some regular, consistent sleep. We can talk more about that for a whole session, but that's the quick that we want to talk about. Let others do their own thing. So yeah, this presentation says, you're not the general manager of the universe, so relax. Celebrate that there are different ways to do things. Some of us get very, very stuck in that, like, oh, but I have a good way to do something, or I know the right way to do something. Do your best to let things go and let other people act in the way that they're going to act. You're not responsible for how other people act. So keep that in mind. Get organized. Organization is a great way to reduce stress. Who knows what it feels like when your area is cluttered, then your mind's cluttered, right? Or when when there's a lot around, when there's a lot of clutter, or things are out of place, and it's just kind of your atmosphere is like cluttered and overwhelming. You might feel overwhelmed. Who knows that feeling? So getting organized, not only organizing your time, but also organizing your space, organizing things. Another tip is to live in the present moment. Keep your mind where your body is. Be present. Be right here in the present moment, because we can very easily get thinking about the future, get thinking about the past, and that's not where we are. So do your best to keep your mind where your body is. Right here in the present moment is where you can respond to what's actively going on right now. Helping others. Sometimes we say focusing out. Thinking about other people, helping other people. It's so easy to get wrapped up in our own head and in our own stress and our own problems, that if we just take some time and focus out on someone else, do a nice thing for someone else, or call a friend that you're thinking about and tell, and ask them how you can help them. You can actually go and volunteer. It can really help to put things in perspective. So if you're able to, to volunteer and do anything, you don't have to be formally involved in a volunteer organization. You can literally just call someone you're thinking about, and ask how you can support them, or hey, like, what's up with you? Like, let me focus on your things and help you in some way and get out of my own experience. So that's a good way to do that. Monitor your self-talk. So be aware of what you're saying inside your head. Sometimes we say it out loud and sometimes in our head. I've done it before. Funny story where I was voice to texting and something happened. And I was like, oh, and I could have prevented it. So I was like, oh, stupid Carly. And it voice to text. And I was blatantly aware of how I sometimes subconscious and unconsciously talk to myself. We have to be aware of how we're talking to ourselves, because our internal dialogue can be very mean to ourselves sometimes, thinking that I should have done something, or I messed that up, or something like that. That self-talk can really impact us. And entertain the possibility that whoever just did something hurtful to you didn't do it with harmful intention. Try not to take things personally. Do your best to not assume that other people have ill intentions. If someone does something that hurts your feelings, it's very easy to say, oh, that person did that because they're trying to get at me or something. When really, they might not even be thinking about you, and they might be thinking about the 20 other things, the stressors in their life. And we cause ourselves undue stress and pain when we think that other people are doing things against us for a reason, right? So keep that in mind. It's a great thing to put things in perspective. And laugh, do something, watch something funny, just smile. See what happens when you just smile. It's hard to stay in a negative mind space if I just smile and make myself smile. And it literally, it feels different. Like, take a moment and just smile right now. Just smile. Yep. It kind of creates something different in your body just by smiling, no matter how you're feeling, what's going on. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of these things aren't going to solve the problem. If there's a problem to be solved, solve the problem, right? That's the best way to handle stress. But these are some other healthy coping skills and mechanisms that we can use. Give people a break, kind of similar to what we said just a second ago. If someone's doing something weird or strange, just, who knows what kind of day they're having? Who knows what they might be going through and why they might be acting in the way that they're acting? So give someone a break, right? And again, don't take things personally. And use different words. You can use different words, like describing things in a more positive way. So maybe rather than saying there's a problem, there's an opportunity. Instead of, should have, I could say next time, right? So there's some examples here of thinking about things and speaking about things in a way that are positive or coming from a possibility. It can support our mental health and how we respond to stress. And then finally, remember that other people and things can never make you angry. Only your mind can do that. Sometimes we think that, well, other people are making me act like this. Other people are making me stressed. We have a response. We have an ability to respond to stressors and respond to stress. And you have the opportunity to choose how you're going to respond, to choose how you're going to think about it and what you can do about it. And with enough practice, you really can change your thoughts. Practicing, I'm not going to take that personally. I'm not going to take that personally. That might have nothing to do with me, right? There's a lot of different ways that we can reposition and take alternative perspectives in order to reduce our stressors. So that is the stress management presentation that I have for you guys today. I'm so glad that you joined me. Again, my name is Carly, and I'm with Goodwill Columbus Workforce Development. We're happy that you joined us today. Thank you so much for spending a little time on stress management. Very important topics that we've been covering today, talking about what we can do about our stress. So if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments or send us an email. That would be the best way to follow up with us. wfd@gwcols.com, wfd@gwcols.com. If you have any more questions, tell us what topics you'd like to hear from us on. What topics would you like to hear about while we do these presentations. Please give us feedback in that way. And finally, we are still doing our resume promotion through the end of the month. So if you'd like to get some feedback on your resume, please fill out follow the link that is not in, it is in this video. If you're on Facebook, the link is right there where you can sign up for a call and you can get a free one-on-one phone call resume review. Very useful thing in these times and days to get a little feedback on your resume. So again, thank you so much everyone for joining us. My name is Carly with Goodwill Columbus, and we're so happy you did today. Have a great rest of your day.